Hey, what's up, people in internet land slash YouTube land slash Google Plus land slash whatever other site you may be looking at this on? We are here to do our first NXT review for our channel. This is going to be the first NXT episode for November. It's actually November 6th, 2014. I know it's a little bit late, but we got it up. And for DJ, this is going to be his kind of first impression of NXT because I don't think you haven't seen any NXT yet, have you?
I think the only thing I've seen, I saw the original NXT. I saw a lot of that. But this portion, I've seen like maybe a match that may be it. I haven't seen a ton, if I've seen anything.
All right. Well, I figured this was a pretty good show to kind of get somebody new into NXT because it had a good mix of everything, I think. But let's just jump into it. We opened with a video package of Sami Zayn's Road to Redemption. Some people are kind of arguing whether it's really a road to redemption. I mean, I guess you could kind of see how it is. He, lost a couple matches to guys like Tyson Kidd and Titus O'Neil, and he feels like he hasn't gotten his shot at the
And
NXT title.
he couldn't beat Breeze, right? That was the main thing.
Yeah, one of them is he couldn't beat Breeze. But it basically reviewed his past matches with Tyson Kidd, Titus O'Neil, along with Adrian Neville, saying that Zayn basically, who Adrian Neville is our NXT champion right now, basically saying that Zayn can't win the big one. And then his newest challenge, which he has faced before, wasn't able to beat him, Tyler Breeze, who he will be facing tonight. To see if he can finally overcome that obstacle. And we actually open up the show with Tyler Breeze versus Sami Zayn. Well, first of all, what did you think of the video package to open the
Um,
show?
I felt like the video package told me a little bit about Sami Zayn, and I did say his name right?
Yeah,
He's like the only guy I know. I know him and Neville, and I know I kind of know Breeze, like from just beforehand, just seeing him like in different like videos and stuff, and hearing about him from other people. But I think it told me a little bit about what he wants to do, who he wants to be in NXT. That was about all I really got from the video package,
yeah,
and his obviously his like whole journey and everything. I got that part too.
yeah. I mean, it showed a little bit, but if you're kind of just jumping into NXT, you could be a little bit confused too, I guess. But like I said, started the match. I thought it was a great matchup. I think Tyler Breeze and Sami Zayn work well together. Um, I think pretty much you can put anybody with Sami Zayn and it would be a good match. He's just that type of superstar. He's just good. Um, anyway, it was kind of a rather uncharacteristically slow match for Sami Zayn. You could definitely see kind of his almost at times unsure of himself, unsure if he'd be able to, overcome Tyler Breeze. There was a bunch of near falls, kind of having, Tyler Breeze get into Sami Zayn's head, I almost got you there, I almost got you there. They work well together. I thought they could have been a little bit more fast-paced than it was. At the same time, with it being a slower match, it didn't bore me. It was really good with the combinations that they had. You know, reversals into pinfalls into it kept it exciting. Um, I don't want to go too much into this match because I don't want to make the video too long, but uh, Sami Zayn basically does end up winning with the exploder suplex into the corner, followed by the haluva kick. Um, so Zayn continues on his road to the NXT title. What did you think about this match?
I thought this match was really good. I was actually surprised it was the first match though. I thought maybe it'd be like the main event or something. Because I thought Breeze was coming out there to cut a promo or something, or maybe he was fighting someone else. I didn't think that the match was going to be tonight or something like that. But I like Tyler Breeze. I had a nice little feel for Tyler Breeze. Um, basically Tyler Breeze came out there and he was on his Snapchat or I guess he was on Snapchat. It looked like he was taking a ton of selfies though. I did notice that. He was duck facing it out and everything. I was enjoying it. Um, Sami Zayn to me, and this is no disrespect to him at all. He feels like a reincarnated like Evan Bourne to me. He just feels like he's similar to Evan Bourne. He's like it feels like they're kind of similar in a way. I think I like Zayn more than I like Evan Bourne. Um, I feel like Zayn's a little bit more exciting than Evan Bourne was character wise and in the ring a little bit. Um, and I got a question um, about the whole thing, and I'll ask it after I get finished. Um, the Tyler Breeze neck breaker was freaking ridiculous. I love that. The Breeze super kick sounded great, looked great. Oh man, super kicks. That's the thing right there. Then we had the nice little exploder suplex into the corner. Let Finished up by the haluva kick. I'm pretty sure that's a thing that Zayn does all the time. I know I've heard of the haluva kick before, and I'm pretty sure it seems like he does it all the time. And another question was, does Sami Zayn always pin like that in that awkward whatever that was he was doing?
Kind of. I I don't know that I really noticed it until you just kind of pointed it out, you know. But I I guess he does. I don't know. I'll have to go and look back at some of his other matches. But that was kind of a weird pin. um, but I mean, and I do like Tyler Breeze too. I don't know how, and getting off the topic of this match specifically, but I don't know if they ever brought him up to the main roster, how his character would translate to the main roster. I don't know. I'm afraid it would turn into another like Adam Rose type thing. Um, I do like how he has the cell phone and it kind of records up onto the Titantron. That's kind of cool. Unique for an entrance. But I would like to see definitely in the future of both of these guys when they finally get up to the main roster what WWE does with them. And as far as you were saying, Sami Zayn reminds you of Evan Bourne. I can see that. I almost think WWE almost did that intentionally, um, because I mean I've watched his matches in like some of his matches in like Ring of Honor and stuff, and it was a completely different character in Ring of Honor, but it didn't remind me quite as much of Evan Bourne as he does right now. So I don't know.
Adrian's kind of felt like an Evan Bourne type of thing. Like I could see, like if they brought out Evan Bourne with that same entrance, maybe not the entrance music, but like that same type of, the movement he had with that. Like That it just seemed like it was it felt like I could see Evan Bourne in that same type of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I don't know if they specifically did that or if it just happened that way. But I mean, I like both of them, so I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
Uh, but
I
let's.
got one more question though.
I have
Why?
another answer.
Okay, awesome. Why is Tyler Breeze the rightful contender? I know they said that a couple times on commentary. Why is he? Is that just because of the color commentator being that way, or is he actually supposed to be the quote rightful contender?
He, I forgot who he. I think he did win the number one contendership. Um, I I'm trying to remember. I think it was something to do with Sami Zayn and Tyler Breeze. Like I thought he cheated somehow or something like that. Oh wait, no. It was Sami Zayn, Tyler Breeze, and Adrian Neville had a triple threat match for the title, and uh, basically Adrian Neville kind of cheated to win. Didn't cheat, but found a way to win. I'll have to go back and exactly watch that match because I don't remember exactly what happened. But there was kind of, you know, confusion as to who would be the number one contender. Um, and obviously, Sami Zayn figured or felt he was kind of cheated out of the title, or out of a shot at the title. Um, but again, I'll have to look back because I don't remember exactly what happened with everything. But it did kind of get confusing as to who should be the rightful contender. I feel like Sami Zayn would do better as the champion right now because I think he's closer to getting up to the main roster more than Tyler Breeze is. Um, but I guess we'll see what happens. Um, but anyway, let's move on. Um, Next we have commentators are talking about Hideo Itami, otherwise known as Kenta, for anyone who followed Kenta over in Japan, and his feud against the Ascension, and how Hideo promised to bring a friend with him this week to face the Ascension. Um, I knew who his partner was going to be before, but that's because I read cheat sheets and all that stuff. But we'll get to that when it comes anyway. Also, the NXT Women's Champion Charlotte with Bayley to face Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch, which I think is coming up. Then we had, I guess you would call it a network commercial. I don't know why the network has commercials, but they do. Whatever. When we come back from that little commercial, it was like a minute. We're backstage with Renee Young, who is interviewing Adrian Neville. Renee asks Adrian what he thinks of Sami Zayn's win at the beginning of the show. He tells Renee that he was impressed and that he would consider Zayn the number one contender at this point, which makes Neville happy considering the two are friends, and Neville will give Zayn a shot anytime, any place. He also adds that unfortunately Sami Zayn can't win the big one. So I kind of like how they're kind of building a kind of once friends now enemies type of storyline. I feel like they're gonna go with this. At least that's what it feels like to me is gonna eventually happen. Um, what did you think of this interview and anything that I've said so far?
Well, now that you cleared it up for me, because I was wondering, are they really friends, or is Neville just being really sarcastic, or what was going on right there? But you cleared it up for me there. I don't know. As far as Neville goes, with that whole interview and stuff. I don't know. I was a little confused when I was watching it because I was like, are they friends? Is he being sarcastic? What's going on here? I don't really understand. Um, but I think a match between Neville and Zayn would be great because I haven't seen Neville yet, but I've seen his finisher before because I actually think I saw him on he was on Raw one week. That's where I saw him. Right? He was
Yeah,
on Raw.
yeah, a
Yeah.
couple
So I
while
saw him
back.
on and it was a while back. Now I would think so. Yeah, I think that would be an interesting match. And at this point I was hoping that they actually would have this match because I was kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm excited for this match too. I feel like it's going to be a good match. I hope. I'm pretty sure they'll have Sami Zayn finally win the title. I don't know why they wouldn't. Um, but anyway, um, our next match is Dash Wilder versus Tyson Kidd. Um, I I guess Dash Wilder has been in some tag team matches in NXT in the past couple weeks. I didn't really pay attention that much to him. Um, but it was an okay match. Dash Wilder basically jobbed to Tyson Kidd for the majority of the match. He had a few offensive moves, but not really much. Um, Obviously, Tyson Kidd wins with sharpshooter. Um, and I was thinking about it. I don't know what it is about Tyson Kidd that he kind of bores me. Um, Even though he's like kind of a technician type wrestler, submissions, things like that. And when I think about it, a lot of guys that I used to really enjoy watching were the same type of, not not exactly the same type, but similar in like um, technician type and uh, uh, submission, like guys like Ken Shamrock. I used to love watching Ken Shamrock. Even guys like Chris Benoit and Dean Malenko reminded me a lot of Tyson Kidd with just the way he's very technical in the ring. All the submissions he can pop out of nowhere. But there's just something about Tyson Kidd. I don't know if it's his character that WWE gives him, or if it's just him in general that kind of bores me. But there's something that just I can watch his matches and they're okay, but nothing that I really you know have ever been like, wow, that was awesome. What did you think of this match?
First off, before I get into the match, why does Tyson Kidd get no more title shots? I heard that on commentary too. Something about he
Um,
gets no more title shots.
he had lost. He he had a match against Adrian Neville for the title and lost. Um, and he kept wanting another title shot, another title shot. Finally, Natty went to William Regal, who is the general manager of NXT, and kind of asked him to give him one more shot. Um, and he agreed to do it, but he said if he loses again, he gets no more title shots. Which I kind of don't see why he needs a title shot or why he would need to hold the NXT title. He's already been established on the main roster in the past, so it's not like he needs that to, as a push. I just think they need to figure out a better character for him that'll work on the main roster. but that's pretty much what happened. Um,
Okay. I don't know. For some reason, I love Tyson Kidd. I don't. I don't know why. Maybe it's because he just hasn't been on the main roster in a long time. Um, I don't know. I just love Tyson Kidd. I like what he does in the ring. I kind of even like his character a little bit. So I'm kind of on the completely opposite side of the fence here on this one compared to you. But I don't know what it is about Tyson Kidd. I don't know if I've always liked. I think I actually have always liked him, even when he had that little piece of hair like in the front of his head that looked ridiculous. But I've always kind of liked Tyson Kidd.
yeah.
Um, I really love that fisherman hook neckbreaker he did. I thought that looked nice. And I like the sharpshooter too. The sharpshooter was it's always nice unless I don't even know who does a terrible sharpshooter. Somebody does like the worst sharpshooter in like the history. I think it's The Rock. The Rock who does the worst one in history. Somebody somebody
The
does like a terrible
Rock does
sharpshooter.
the Rock sharpshooter, which is completely different from anybody else's sharpshooter ever. It kind of looks ridiculous, but because it's The Rock, you're like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I guess I like Tyson Kidd to a point. I just I don't know if I do kind of like this character that they have for him now. That cocky um type character for him. I want to see if it works out. I just don't like that they keep bringing up Natty and how Natty is his wife. I think that kind of takes away from his character and takes away from his in-ring ability. I think they need to back off on that.
Yeah, I feel like, but that could be something that where like, so okay, it could get him to like prove a point, like especially character wise. So all they talk about is your wife and how good she is in the ring and how she needs to teach you how to wrestle and all that, and it just makes him become even more cocky. I'd like to honestly see Tyson Kidd. I don't know because really the main way to get to the best way to get to the main roster is win the NXT title, and that's probably why he wants that shot because he knows, Bo Dallas won the NXT title. Look where he is now. I mean, not that they're doing much with him, but still, look where he is now. He's on the main roster. Um, and I feel like if they push Tyson Kidd to the NXT title to where he won it. It made him even more cocky, and then he faced some sort of face U.S. champion or face Intercontinental champion, and it kind of he kind of just proved himself in that way, and it gave him that mid card uh, type of deal that he hasn't really had in a while, or I don't even know if he really had it at all.
Yeah, I know he's been tag team champion, but and I mean, I understand where he's coming from with him them being like, your wife can teach you so much, blah blah blah, and him getting cocky. But it almost doesn't make sense if you think about the reality. Like, WWE is trying to go into this reality era, and if you're going into a reality era, that doesn't really make sense considering he was the last person to train in the Heart Dungeon. And if you trained in the Heart Dungeon, you're already probably one of the best professional wrestlers in the world, um, just being trained from the hearts. So it just kind of doesn't make sense to me from that aspect of it. Um, but I mean, I guess, WWE thinks we're dumb anyway, so I guess it works. Uh, any other thoughts on this match, or move on, or?
No, that was it
All
actually.
right,
That was it.
all right. So we move on to a backstage segment with Marcus Louis in a dark room with sort of a red light. Kind of, he's kind of going mad, saying they won't stop laughing at me. They won't stop laughing at me. Talking about his the hair versus hair match that his partner Sylvester Lefort technically lost, but he ran out, forcing Marcus Louis to unfortunately have his head shaved. Um, and by the way, WWE, just so you know, hair does grow back. He's been bald, like he's been clean shaven bald for like 3, 4 weeks now. Like hair does grow back, you know. It just doesn't make sense. I don't know where they're going with this. It it's just, you know, they could do a feud between the two. You know, you left me and let me get my head shaved when I wasn't the one who lost the match. But they already have enough gimmicks with, you know, the divas being crazy. Why do they need a superstar to be crazy now? It feels like WWE, when they don't have an idea for a superstar, they just go, oh, let's make him crazy somehow. You know, what did you think? Not knowing too much about it, what did you think of this backstage segment?
I was completely confused because I didn't know who the guy was. I didn't know what he was doing. I thought he was moaning for a second. I was like getting a little scared here. Uh, my mom's gonna come down and think something's going on, and I'm just watching wrestling. I was like, okay, um, going on here, but you know, I think what WWE does, this is what happens. So someone's like, oh, my head would look good shaved. So they shave it and then they like it. So so they can't really grow it back because they like it too much. Kurt Angle, he didn't want to grow his hair back. He just wanted to wear those ridiculous wigs with that freaking headdress he kept putting on. Like, I don't know. Maybe they just like the shaven look, and then they're just like, you know what? I kind of like this. I'm not growing it back out. But as far as the segment goes, I didn't know what was going on until you just explained it just now. That's the only way I even knew what was going down. I did see the guy. I've seen him before, to where he had gotten his head shaved or something like that. I think maybe I can't remember who posted a picture of it. Somebody had posted some kind of picture of it. It may have even been on Facebook where WWE did it themselves. Um, but yeah, I didn't understand what was going on. I knew he was. He sent. I heard him say, you know, they keep laughing at me and stuff like that. I did hear that though.
Yeah, yeah. Even I'm kind of confused with it as to what they're doing with it. I don't really know. But I guess we'll see in the next coming weeks, hopefully. Um, then they have a kind of face-off screen saying up next, Charlotte and Bayley will face Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch. For anybody who isn't really familiar with this feud, if you go back, Charlotte and Sasha Banks used to be tag team partners until Charlotte won the NXT Women's Championship, and then obviously started the jealousy. Um, then Bayley got a chance at the title, lost, but was able to gain respect from Charlotte. Charlotte gave her another shot at the title. Unfortunately, she lost again, and then was attacked by Sasha Banks because Sasha, I guess, thinks she should be the #1 contender for the women's title. And then I think it was last week, we had a match with, I think it was, I don't remember if it was a tag team match with Bayley and Becky Lynch, but basically Becky Lynch turned her back on Bayley and teamed up with Sasha Banks. So now Charlotte is teaming up with Bayley. It's kind of, unless you watch it, it's kind of confusing. But so that's going to be coming up next. We come to another little network commercial. I think this one was like Ultimate Warrior talking about the network, which I don't know why you have a network commercial when you already have the network. Doesn't make sense. I don't know. I guess this is how WWE thinks. But we come back to an interview with Sami Zayn and Renee Young again. Renee Young asks Sami Zayn what's going on in his head after his big win against Tyler Breeze. He says he's feeling great. He tells her that he feels like the Count of Monte Cristo. I guess it's a book. I don't know. I haven't read it. Um,
Yeah, she was confused too. So
yeah, he
we're
asked
worthy on.
he asked Renee if she knows the book, to which she says, "Nope, I do not." And he kind of jokingly says, "It's okay. It's not a quiz." Um, he said he feels like he's coming back from his road to redemption. It feels real now, not just a tagline. He feels like he's avenging himself and righting the wrongs. Those wrongs being the contenders that he couldn't beat before, uh, Tyler Breeze, Tyson Kidd, Titus O'Neil. Um, kind of forgot where I was. Yeah. But anyway, now Zayn feels like he's coming back and taking them out one by one. So this road to redemption is very real to Sami Zayn, and he feels like the road is, coming to an end. He feels like pretty soon, he's gonna finally get his title shot, and he actually says that he's ready to have his title shot next week, and he's challenging Adrian Neville for the title. Renee says that she's going to go confirm with William Regal that shot will happen next week. So kind of ends on that, seeing I guess we'll see later on if William Regal agrees to the match and okays it, because if William Regal doesn't say yes, it's not going to happen. Um, Next, we finally have Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Bayley. Um, First of all, actually, let me go back. What did you think of this interview with Sami Zayn talking about him being ready for his title shot next week?
It was less about the interview and more about Renee Young. Um, no, actually, I was just curious to do like the interviewers, which I guess is just Renee Young. Does she like just go ask the general managers about these like different matches all the time, or is this like an every once in a while thing? That's what I was just curious about that more than anything, because that was just interesting to me, because you don't really see it a lot. You don't see like just um, the person who's doing the interview just going, and asking the boss. So, my boy get this shot, right? I just thought
Yeah,
that was just interesting. It was, it was different, which I love.
yeah. It was the first time I've actually seen the interview of saying, okay, we're gonna go check and see if this is actually gonna happen. Usually you just find out next week whether it happens or not. So that was kind of unique, different for them. But I think she is pretty much the only interviewer on NXT,
What
which,
happened to Byron Saxton? Does he just work on the app? I guess, because I know he was on there for a little bit.
yeah, I see him off and on. I think he does some interviews. Renee Young does more of them, I think, but she also does commentary too. So I don't know. I don't know if they kind of switch off week by week. I haven't really paid that much attention to that, but they might do that where he does commentary one week and she does interviews, and then next week they switch. I'll have to pay more attention to that in the next couple weeks, because I've seen both of them doing both. So um, I guess we'll see.
Speaking of commentary, who was on commentary tonight? I know it was Alex Riley, from what I heard.
Alex
Uh,
Riley, Jason Albert, aka Sweet Tea. Yeah, and
that's what they have him now.
yeah, and there's a new guy. I keep forgetting his name. A newer uh, commentator on there too that they have.
And
Uh,
also, I know that Eden is doing the announcing right now for Raw. Is it Raw or is it SmackDown? I'm wrong.
One of them, yeah, I noticed that.
And then I think JoJo's supposed to do. JoJo's is JoJo moving to NXT for the announcing portion? Because I know she's supposed to be doing something like that too.
Ah,
So I'm gonna be tuning in to
whatever.
NXT from now on. That's my subscription right there. Just
Yeah, I don't know. I'll have to check that out. Because I know back when she was on Total Divas, I forgot, was it her or was it Summer Rae who tried to do announcing the one time and couldn't remember the guy's weights, or I think that was Summer Rae actually who did that. Um, but um,
it's probably Eva Marie since she tries to do everything.
anyway, let's get into to this next match before we get too far off onto tangents and talking about the ladies of the WWE. Um, so we have Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch versus Charlotte and Bayley. Before we get into this, I just wanted to say I really like Charlotte and Sasha Banks, their characters and their in-ring ability. I can definitely see them going up to the main roster and kind of helping the Divas division. Um, I think out of all of the NXT divas, they're the two kind of most ready to go up. I think Charlotte will definitely go up first. Um, I don't. I think they'll eventually give Sasha a NXT Women's Championship run before they send her up there. It seems like they do that with all the superstars. They give them a major title run. The Ascension got the tag team titles. I've heard they're going up. I don't know when, but we'll see. Anyway, um, we actually saw a bit more of an aggressive side on an aggressive and angry side on Bayley. After in the past couple weeks, Becky Lynch turned on her. Um, uh, so that was kind of interesting for those who have been watching NXT and know that Bayley's the kind of loving, fun, likes to give hugs, likes to interact with the fans and stuff like that, and to see kind of a more aggressive side to her was kind of cool. But Lynch was able to take. Hold on. Um, anyway, sorry about that. Lost where I was. But Lynch was able to finally kind of take a little bit more control and tag Sasha in. Um, so you could definitely see Charlotte really wanted to get in and get her hands on Sasha. But Sasha, being the typical kind of coward heel, didn't want anything to do with her. We had another quick network commercial. This was like a second long. I don't even think it was that long. It was like network, and then we're back to the match. Charlotte gets Becky Lynch back into Lynch's corner and demands that Sasha tag in, um, with Sasha refusing, obviously. So Charlotte basically just punishes Becky Lynch since Sasha won't tag in. Um, Charlotte does a hard whip to Becky into Becky's corner, causing Sasha to be knocked off of the ring apron, which was kind of cool. It shows that divas kind of can be powerful, and do things like that. Not so much the hair pulling and slapping that we usually see. Sasha starts to run around the ring, and Charlotte chases her, and follows her back into the ring to um, a waiting Becky Lynch. Becky tries to hit Charlotte, but Charlotte is able to block it, and hits Becky Lynch with a punch of her own. Um, Charlotte knocks Becky to her knees, and the ref goes to check on her. And while the ref is checking on her, Charlotte goes to try and clothesline Sasha off of the ring apron again. Sasha ducks, and as Charlotte goes to turn around to go back to uh, take care of Becky Lynch, Sasha kind of grabs her top, like the back of her top, forcing her to fall down. Um, I don't want to go too much into this match because I actually wrote a lot about this match, and I don't want this um, video to go too long. But I mean, for me, I thought this was actually a really good Divas tag team match. You know, it wasn't the typical main roster tag team match that lasts like 3 minutes and it's over. It actually lasted a pretty good amount of time. It showed a lot of what, at least out of Sasha Banks, Charlotte, and Bayley, what they could do. I think they kind of used Becky Lynch more as like a jobber in this match. I felt like I don't feel like she got as much offense in this match. I felt like she was just more of an extra person in this match. I felt like if they did like a triple threat match or a handicap match, it would have worked just as well without Becky Lynch. But it was a good match. What did you think watching this tag team divas match?
Um, from the beginning, I knew it was different. I felt like it was different. It had a different vibe to it. Because when just the way they started the match was different. We didn't see a freaking cat fight and them rolling around and any of that. Like it just felt different, and it was good to see because you don't see it on the main roster. One thing, the one thing about that is though, if any of these, women get called up to the main roster, are we gonna get this on the main roster, or are we just gonna get the same thing we just keep getting? I mean, that would be the unfortunate thing. But I feel like there's so many unique characters in NXT. Not only from this match, but just in general. I think I'm gonna say Prince Devitt, but he's not Prince Devitt anymore.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that.
um, why can't I remember his name? Look at this. Tyler Breeze. I don't know why I forgot his name. Tyler Breeze, Sami Zayn, even Adrian Neville. The guy who was freaking out in the back. He was kind of different. I think even the females in general, they're kind of different. All of them, especially. I really liked Bayley. She just seemed really different to me. She had a little flailing tube man as she came out to the ring. I thought that was funny. Speaking of coming out to the ring, when Charlotte came out, I love the Ric Flair remix theme music. That's great because I obviously know she's Ric Flair's daughter and all that. I've heard about all that. Um, I thought that was really cool though. I really did like that. Because I know I had saw some clips where Ric Flair was actually on the show not too long ago, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I do like that whole aspect with her having that little theme music and stuff like that. Does she do the figure four or no?
Uh, she
Or
does.
does
Yeah.
the Miz have dibs on that?
No, no, she does that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. A couple weeks, not a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, it was kind of cool. They had Charlotte versus Natty, and they had both Ric Flair and Bret Hart in their corners, which was kind of cool. Kind of, you know, which I guess you can kind of take it both negatively and positively. I've heard a lot of people who have come up in the business who have, relatives who have been in the business, kind of they get a hard time from a lot of other people thinking, well, she's Ric Flair's daughter, so she obviously, got a free ride to the WWE. But, I feel like she really, shows that she deserves to be there along with Natty. I mean, yeah, they're related to Ric Flair and Bret Hart, but, even if you didn't know that, they go in, week in and week out, and they really show what um, women's wrestling is all about. When WWE allows them to do so. Unfortunately, WWE still kind of doesn't allow divas to show what they can really do. But I, this was definitely, I think, and you can kind of attest to this, for somebody coming into NXT for the first time, seeing it, they're a divas match, being used to WWE's main roster divas matches. This was definitely something, refreshing, as opposed to what we usually get. Um, but let's move on. Next, we have an, the interview with William Regal that we've been waiting for. Renee Young asks him if mentions that Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville both want their NXT Championship match next week. To which William says, I can't always do what the talent wants. I have to do what is best for business. Oh, and he disappeared. Oh no. We're going to have to wait and see if he comes back. I hope he comes back. We'll just wait here. We're going to wait here patiently. We're going to talk. We're going to talk about our feelings. What? He texted me. I'll be back. He'll be right back. Don't worry, guys. He's coming back. I don't know why I look over here. I should look here. Anyway. His internet's loading back up. He'll be right back, guys. This is happening again. This happened in our NXT video a couple. Was it 2 weeks ago? I think it was. Yeah. But anyway, we'll continue as soon as he gets back. So. I guess the slaughter of the Chicago Bears is done. So, how are you guys out there in YouTube land, Google Plus land, Facebook world, if you have MySpace. I don't even know if MySpace is a thing anymore. If you're on Twitter, how are you doing? Um, I think he just messaged me. Let's find out. Nope, that wasn't him. That was somebody else. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Oh, I think he's back. Wait. Oh, let's see. Is he? Is he back? Is he? Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
I'm back. Sorry. The router got unplugged somehow.
So
But I am indeed back.
what was the last thing you heard me talking about?
I don't even I don't even remember. I was in a state of panic just now.
All right, I'll just start at
We,
the
well, we,
interview.
I know we were talking about the Ric Flair thing. I know we were talking about Ric Flair and Bret Hart being there. That's the last thing I remember.
Oh, well, I was saying that even with them being related to Ric Flair and Bret Hart, I think they come in and week out, and they'll really show what they can do. Um, Show that they're not just riding on the coattails of their relatives. They can really hold their own. Um, if WWE allows them to. A lot of times they don't let the divas do what they really can do. Um, but unless you have anything else to say about that, I'll kind of move on.
I got a question about Charlotte. Does she always get in the ring like that?
Yes,
Okay. And how do I stop from falling in love with Sasha Banks? Because I'm close, pretty close.
I I don't know because I'm having that problem too. Um,
Pretty close.
I'm I'm kind of falling in love with Bailey too, but that's only because I want a Bailey hug.
Oh, indeed. I'll take one of those.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll take one.
Yeah, and I think Sasha Banks is only like 24, so it she's not too old. But
That's true.
anyway, let's move on before we get distracted by our fantasy crushes on WWE divas. Um, well, we go to the backstage where Renee Young interviews William Regal, saying that both Sami Zayn and Adrian Neville want their NXT Championship match next week. To which Regal says that he can't always worry about what the talent wants. He has to worry about what's best for business. Yep, we got a best for business in NXT today. Yep, we did. He has to do what's best for business and what's best for the show. He says, although Sami Zayn did beat Tyson Kidd, Titus O'Neil, and Tyler Breeze, so you know what? Why not? He agrees to do the match. Says that Zayn is ready to be the number one contender. So next week we will have our championship match between Tyler Breeze and Sami Zayn, or not Tyler Breeze, Adrian Neville and Sami Zayn. So I'm pretty excited about that. Hope it's a good match. I'm pretty sure it will be. NXT hasn't really had any kind of bad main events. Most of them are pretty good. What did you think of this interview? What do you think of the upcoming match next week?
I was just excited that we were going to get this match. That was the main thing. It just confirmed my excitement, practically.
All right. We had another little commercial thing, I guess. I don't know what we're calling those things. They're technically commercials, but I don't see why the WWE Network needs them. Um, you know, obviously maybe to sell DVDs, but they could just put the DVDs on the network and kill two birds with one stone right there. Come on, WWE, let's do this. Come on. Anyway, we come back and the Ascension comes out to the ring and calls out Hideo Itami, and whoever his special backup is for this week, whoever his friend is he brought in. Um, Victor says that they have tried to be patient with Hideo, but clearly Hideo just doesn't get the message. Connor says, Hideo, you want to make threats? Why don't you come out here so we can finish what we started? Hideo's music hits, and he slowly walks out onto the stage. He stands there at the top of the stage, kind of gives a little bit of a smile, and looks over to the curtain. All of a sudden, the name Finn Balor comes on the Titantron, and his music hits. Out comes his backup, obviously, which is Finn Balor. If you don't know, his prior name was Prince Devitt. I think he's worked in like New Japan, different places all over the world. He's very well known across the world. I've seen some of his matches on YouTube, and I was really excited for his debut. But both Hideo and Finn stand side by side, look at each other, and run down to the ring, ready to take on the Ascension. Hideo and Finn fight Connor and Victor to opposite corners of the ring, stomping them down to the bottom turnbuckles. Then they kind of turn to each other and look, and running to the opposite corners, deliver what I thought were absolutely beautiful hesitation drop kicks. I thought these hesitation drop kicks looked amazing. They get up and turn around and deliver another set of hesitation drop kicks again. These ones didn't look as in sync as the first two did, but they were still amazing. The Ascension roll out to the floor. Finn Balor jumps over the top rope. At first, I wasn't sure what he was doing, and then I saw he runs and does a devastating double foot stomp onto Connor. It looked intense. It looked like it really hurt. Then Victor slowly crawls back into the ring with Hideo kind of taunting, or no, sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Victor comes in the ring, and Hideo is kind of crouched in the corner. Then Finn comes back into the ring from the opposite corner. Victor goes for a clothesline. Finn ducks it, and as soon as Victor turns around, Finn hits him with a really nice kind of Pele kick. AJ Styles used to do one similar, followed by Hideo delivering a pretty nice front drop kick on him when he was kind of staggering there. Connor kind of desperately tries to crawl back into the ring with Hideo taunting him, yelling, come on, which was, to me, was kind of funny with his Japanese accent, yelling, come on. Maybe that was just me, kind of found that funny. Meanwhile, Finn gets up on the top rope. Connor finally gets to his feet, and Finn delivers another diving double foot stomp to Connor's back. Very dominant performance between with Hideo and Finn Balor. I'm excited to see um, what they do with this rivalry, um, but it definitely debuted Finn Balor really strong and kind of definitely helped Hideo's character with the feud with the Ascension. What did you think of this? It wasn't really a match, but this segment.
I liked it. I did. I liked it. I really liked the Pele into the. I thought it was a Bukaki knee, but I must have been wrong. Uh, into the drop kick. Um, I don't know. It looked like a literal like bicycle kick though. Like like the bicycle kick in soccer. That's what it
Yeah,
looked. It kind of looked like that if you think about it. Um,
yeah. I wasn't really sure what they were considering that. I was. Yeah.
yeah, I thought that was cool. That was probably the coolest part. I just want to know who's the tag team champions because I know the Ascension were the tag team champions, and then I thought it was gonna be Hideo Itami was gonna be one half of the tag team champions or something like that. But I
Right
was
now, yeah. Right now, the tag team champions are frick. What's his name there? Hold on. Let me. It's Sin Cara and what?
oh I heard this too. I can't remember where I heard that though.
I can't think of it right now. Sin Cara and
And also I thought that Prince Devitt was already in NXT, and I thought they just changed his gimmick to make him Finn Balor. So I didn't know he actually came from another promotion.
yeah. Um, oh, it's Kalisto and Sin Cara are the tag team champions. I don't know why I couldn't think of his name. Um, but so I don't know if they're gonna eventually challenge for the tag team titles. That would be cool. Um, I kind of wish that WWE did more of Prince Devitt's gimmick, because for anyone who hasn't really watched any of his past matches in other promotions, he actually used to like paint his whole upper body in different themes. Actually, I have a couple pictures. I'll see if they work on the overlay well, but let me see if this one works.
As long as they're in the chest area, you should be good.
Yeah, kind of like that. Which were pretty cool. I think if they did something like that with him, or continue to do something like that with him, that would definitely be something cool and something unique in the WWE. Um, but we'll see. I'm just afraid of all these guys, finally going up to the main roster and being watered down like they usually are. Um, but what did you think being kind of your first full NXT show? What did you think of the show in general?
I thought it was kind of like packed like into an hour. I didn't think it felt like it was short or anything. It just felt like it was kind of like I just liked it. I liked the style of the show. It's like if to me if you're gonna stay with WWE and not go with any other promotion as far as wrestling goes, I think I could recommend this to people inside of WWE who don't really want to go outside, don't really have a way to go outside. They got the network. They're like, okay, paid my $9.99, so I might as well watch something else, right? So, and I think this would be a good thing, to watch. It had matches, it had segments, video packages, all you could ask for. It had Sasha Banks.
Yeah, and I feel like NXT kind of almost feels more like an indie show, you know. It's
Yeah, it's
small.
like because it's like promoted as its own brand. I feel like that is a true statement.
Yeah, and I think one thing that bothers me is NXT is an hour long, and they fit so much into it. So many like they actually give time to the matches, and you look at Raw, and you might have the same amount of time in matches combined in Raw for 3 hours that you get in 1 hour in NXT. And it just doesn't make sense.
Not
It,
even an hour, really. Like 40. Well, what is it? 50 minutes?
yeah, something like that. It's crazy that they pack so much more into an hour NXT, actual wrestling wise, than they do with Raw or SmackDown. And yeah, they do have interview segments, and they have video packages, but they don't drag them out like they do sometimes on Raw.
And a lot of times it's that time thing too. Like you don't have time to drag them out. You just kind of got to get what you need to say out, and that's all you can do.
Yeah, I almost feel like they kind of may have hurt themselves when they expanded Raw to 3 hours, because they don't they don't have that where they have to push everything into 2 hours. Now they have time where they can kind of drag things out, and that's what a lot of fans don't like. Is we want to see wrestling on a wrestling show. We don't want to see Triple H and Stephanie talking for half an hour about what are they going to do for Survivor Series.
We just want to see RKO's out of nowhere.
Yes, and we specifically want Michael Cole to over exaggerate them. All right, guys. I think that's pretty much our inaugural NXT review for this lovely, well, I should say, not this week. I'm sure we'll probably do one for this week. I think this one went pretty well. What do you think?
Yeah, yeah. I think it went pretty well. We do.
All right. So definitely, it's right over here. So follow me on Twitter. If you have any requests for us, want us to talk about something else more, if you want us to talk about Sasha Banks, maybe. If you want pictures of Sasha
I
Banks
got
on
you.
the show,
I got
yeah, I mean, we can work it out. We can get this done.
you. If you have pictures of Sasha Banks, feel free.
Yeah, if you have any way for us to contact her and you know, get us the digits, or whatever. I'll let DJ kind of do his thing and give out his Twitter and what have you.
All right. Obviously, the Twitter's below me, somewhat to the left or the right, depending on how you're watching this video. It really kind of depends on the way in which you watch the video. Yeah, my Twitter is at beastmode123100. How to come about? I'll explain that later. Okay, I'll explain that later. This is not the time. It's not the time. It's NXT. Okay, but we only got an hour. Okay, so it's not the time. But you can follow me on Twitter. You can send me tweets. You can, whatever. Talk to me. Tell me what you think. Feel free to subscribe to the channel because that's always a good thing. It's always a good thing to subscribe and share the video by whatever way you see fit. Um, and it's Classic Wrestling Podcast. That's all I got for you guys.
Yeah. We have another, I think, another new logo. I don't know if we showed them one, but it has a panda on it, so
Indeed.
I mean, if nothing else, that's a reason for you to watch our podcast. We have a panda in our logo. What
Yeah,
can
we have 3 logos. We are overachieving.
Yeah, we have 3 logos. We're just we're going. It's out of hand. It is out of hand right now, and that's why you should be watching our podcast. Not to mention that we are rather attractive young men. So, ladies, guys, if you're into guys, I mean, whatever. As long as we get more views, we don't care.
I, I think so.
I'm done now.
We'll see you guys later. Things coming up this week: TNA review, NXT review, and Survivor Series review early next week, maybe. Think it's the 16th. I think so.
Whoa,
Survivor Series is the 16th. I'm pretty sure.
it's already coming up. That's crazy.
Yeah, we don't even know who's on Team Cena yet.
We don't. I don't think we really care.
But shout out to the light heavyweight champion, me. Can't get the, you know, light
Uh,
heavyweight championship. I'll
shout out
zoom
to
in for you.
the Attitude Era champion right here. Yeah,
Of the entire era.
yeah, the entire era. It doesn't even matter.
Oh, but guys, obviously the love is real for all of you guys. Feel free to subscribe, share it, however, whatever you want to do. See you guys later. Peace.